We going live.
Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there, cold shoes and boots. I'm going out of the
What's up? What's up with it, everybody? Welcome to For Shits and Giggles. I'm Ahava Elian, and I'm joined by the man in the middle, like Michael Jackson, but that's the man in the mirror.
I was about to say it's starting all bad. It's all bad.
And my other brother from another mother, but he's actually my cousin, Remy G, in the place to be. As you can
Welcome,
see.
fellas.
What's up with it, bros?
What's really
Man.
good?
Ready to
Well-
get another good episode going here on For Shits and Giggles. What's our topics for today?
Well, the main topic is Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons has, let me try to bring something up real quick. But Micah Parsons has requested a trade from Dallas. All right. And he's done it to me in a very just bold manner. You know, he's came right out. He didn't cut no corners. He was just really forthright with it and saying, like, I want to trade, and this is why. And he laid out his case for why he's not in a wrong for asking for a trade. And so my question to you guys is, did Micah Parsons go about this in the right way?
Well, let's share with the public how he laid out his case and what he said. What was his exact reasons?
Well, okay, let's see here. So I suppose Micah, he posted a lengthy message on social media Friday, concluding with a statement that he no longer wanted to play for the Cowboys. So the first part of what he said is, he said, I stayed quiet, but after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the first part of the statement. Have you guys ever heard of any negative press? I said it says social media, so yeah, let's just say Twitter or X.
Gotcha.
But have you guys ever heard Dallas Cowboys come out with some negative press about Micah Parsons?
I don't think it's the Dallas Cowboys. I think the owner, Jerry Jones, has made some comments that sort of he took some shots at Micah Parsons for sure. Yeah. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, for Micah Parsons, is given where he's at and how they've gone about contract negotiations in the past with some of their star players, specifically with Dak Prescott, I think he's well within his rights to take the position that he has. I mean, you would think you just think about the other people that have gotten paid and the numbers where they're getting paid at. TJ Watt, Myles Garrett. Yeah, it's time for him to get paid. And you think about what Jerry Jones has done when he negotiate contracts. I'm sure that Micah Parsons is probably a little anxious and ready to, and feels like, and justly so, feel like he should be paid. Get that man his money. Simple.
I agree that he definitely has outplayed his previous contract, and that he is well deserving of the money that he's asking for. And we have seen this tactic before with Jerry Jones in the past, where he has tried to undercut players or put out certain narratives about players and information get leaked about certain players when it comes to contract time. And it's not just Jerry Jones. It's a lot of the owners in all of these sports that all of a sudden information and stuff get leaked at contract time to where you try to really hurt a player's reputation and then try to say that they're not deserving of this money. So I don't feel Micah has done anything wrong. You know, he's trying to get the money he deserves.
And that is, I understand that, but should he like? Because to me, I think that Micah Parsons, whether he should be able to do this or not, is one thing, but whether he should actually do it, like it could be a long
I think
road.
that's
And
the only way to.
I could see Kaepernick effects happening to Micah Parsons.
No
and
way.
then making an example.
No way.
No. This is a different situation than Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Which they were wrong with how
it's bucking. It's bucking. This is real live bucking. Man,
no,
hold on. Let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me tell you why though. Wait, let me tell you why. Because y'all, I didn't read this part to you guys yet. That was just the first part that I read. Listen to this. Listen to this. He said, I stayed quiet, but after repeated shots at myself in a narrative. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, he also said, I no longer, he said, I made my trade request. He said, my trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Okay. So now he's saying like, and I took it to him myself. And basically saying like, you know, he went to him man to man, like, you know, kind of tough. So, and then it says, here. Hold on. Parsons talking to him. Okay, he said in March, I met with Mr. Jerry Jones to talk about leadership. Somehow the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. Okay. To me, this is kind of like whistleblower type shit a little bit, because you saying like this is kind of like illegal for him not to deal with my agent a little bit, you know, like it's kind of like sneaky that he's talking about the owner saying this. He said, yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation. And I informed Mr. Jones afterward that my agent would reach out thinking that this would just be like they would sew it up when the agent called.
Right.
So I don't know, man. When I listened to that, to me, it just seemed like Micah Parsons is going at the owner directly a lot louder. And I ain't trying to say that he shouldn't be able to do this. I understand that, but y'all don't think that the NFL would collude against Micah Parsons in order to kick him out the league?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact,
for this.
I think in this situation,
I know
think Dallas come with the right money. I think if Dallas come with the right money, he would sign back with Dallas in a heartbeat. I think he has a certain number that he expects and that he has discussed with his agent, and if they offer that to him, he would sign. Right now, Dallas isn't offering what he wants. They're not, from what it sounds like, they're not even negotiating with him right now. And the number they're coming back with is not in that same Myles Garrett and TJ Watt range. I think it's like maybe $40 million a year, the annual value of the contract. Mm-hmm. But for premier, elite, and rushers, that's what they get. That's what he's looking for. And the messed up part is, if you're Jerry Jones, from what they were saying, he would have signed if they would have tried to sign him earlier. And he would have got signed at that point for maybe 36, 37 a year. So they sort of made this situation what it is by waiting. The same way they did with CeeDee Lamb. And the same thing they did with Dak Prescott. They ended up losing out in the deal by waiting till that last minute to make these deals happen. So that's what happened.
Reem, how important is a contract? How important is a contract, cuz?
In which sport?
The contract is very important.
What does the contract
what you speaking on
football?
The
contract do? What's it for?
It's a legal it's a legal obligation, well, should be agreement of what's going on between two sides. But the thing about it is, when you ask that, what does it really mean? That question is valid because it always seems as if, especially in football, that the owners and the organizations can get out of contracts and get out of paying money that they owe and all that type of stuff. So in that standpoint of it, yeah, what does it mean? You know what I'm saying? To the athletes, they're always held up to this standard that they supposed to uphold this contract. So even if they sign a contract, they outperform what that contract was, especially like with rookie contracts or early on, and then they want to renegotiate. Now they are deemed as villains because they're saying, no, man, I'm worth more than this and I should be paid more than this. But they're deemed as villains. And then you have the fanatics of fans who also get mad and say, oh man, he's supposed to take this pay cut. He shouldn't ask for this. No, we've like we established in the last podcast, these cats got a limited window to make a lifetime of money. So it should never be asked for them to not take money because the owners aren't willing to not get money. They're not willing to say, hey, we're gonna take this pay cut. So that's a legitimate question, is what does a contract really mean, especially like I said in football, because too many times the organizations find some type of way to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Even to where they have performance-based things in the contract. And then you come, so say a receiver is, if he gets 1,500 yards for the season, he get X amount of dollars, $2-3 million extra. And then all of a sudden he got 1,300 yards, and the next 3 games he don't even get like, you know what I'm saying? That these owners manipulate a whole lot, and I think that some of the athletes get too much of the brunt of this stuff of being made into villains and demons when they ask for trades and stuff like that, when it's all about them trying to maximize the amount of as much money as they can get in this short amount of time.
Yeah, I want to see. I hope they get it worked out, man. You know, because when I see stuff, I might think the worst, but to me, it just seemed like Micah Parsons, man. The NFL, they shown me that they will put somebody out of that league, man. You know.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% relative to the NFL and the power that they have and how they can remove someone. But I think that specific incident with Colin Kaepernick, that's about you impacting their bottom line, and I don't think that that's the same with Micah Parsons. And I think when you talk
the
about
fans would love to have Micah Parsons, though, man. The fans would love Micah Parsons.
Who?
He's a great player, man, but he's making $24 million, and that would just be for this last year, right? And then next year they would have to sign him or franchise tag him.
Well, in the NFL, in any professional league, any professional sport, with the amount of money that you're talking about they're making now, it's imperative that the athlete educate himself and be more wise and cognizant of what the details of a contract are, or have some people that they really trust, because in the NFL, what you're really talking about is guaranteed money. You get the guaranteed money, and that's what your contract is going to be. That's really what you're signing for. Anything beyond that, you're sort of in that murky where you say the owners can get you up out of there or get you off the team and only have to take on this bulk amount of the contract. So when you think about Micah Parsons and what he wants, he's talking, like I said, the $40 million over seasons, whatever that is, 3 or 4 years. That's what you want. And that signing bonus, whatever those dollars are that's going to be guaranteed, that's what means the most to you. And that's what that's why they talk about what the contract is, but what they really highlight is the guaranteed dollars attached to it. And you gotta, you know what I mean? That's what he wants. That's what he's fighting for right now. And each with such a small window, you don't want to wait to sign. He's in the 5th year, and most rookies that have performed like he has,
yeah,
it's time to re-sign. It's time to You know what I mean? And it seemed like if you don't take the stance that he's taking, people like the Hendrickson kid with the Bengals, he's not being as, I guess,
vocal
as Micah Parsons, but yet and still they're not negotiating with him hardly at all. So it's hard to say which is the right way to do it. I guess it depends on the team and how they find value in you. I mean, Hendrickson, they paid everybody. They paid the quarterback, they paid the second wide receiver, the first wide receiver, and this guy was killing the game, and he still hasn't gotten signed. So get that bread, man. You gotta pay. If I'm either one of them, I'm not stepping foot on the field. So you right and cash me out.
Let's talk about this. Speaking of getting paid, Luka Doncic. That's I don't really know how to say Luka's last name that well. Doncic.
Ain't it?
Doncic. So Luka just got 160.
Let's stick with Luka.
Luka, right? A one name great. He just got $165 million. Okay. For 3 years. And then after that, he'll be able to sign for 5 years for 400 and something million. All right.
Right.
If you was to guess right now, if Luka will win a championship as the best player on the Lakers, would you say yes, no, or how can we do it better? Give from on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at that he'll win a championship?
I'm a Lakers fan. 10, Jack. We gonna win, and that's totally biased. But yeah, he gonna win. What are you talking about?
The question I asked though is why does it have to be that he had to win the championship as the best player on the team? Because I mean that's still a matter of opinion. Rather now you say if LeBron is still the best player on the team, based off the impact and stat.
I think they're saying, and I may have heard the question.
I'm saying it's without
you're
LeBron.
Assuming that LeBron is after LeBron is done.
After LeBron, exactly. Yeah, after LeBron, will Luka win a championship? Yes. In LA as the best player? Are you saying that because you're a Lakers fan? But
so what?
All right. So if this team, okay, all right. If Luka wasn't,
I would say
he had won a championship.
I would say it's going to depend on what they get around him, because the parity in the NBA is getting to where it is very spread out. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it doesn't. Anybody can be beaten on any night by anybody in the NBA at this time. It's always been somewhat like that, but it's even more now. You know, saying it's not so top heavy with only certain teams being the top teams, that is spread out. So that, and the landscape of the NBA changes every year, just like the way what happened this year. Look at that they're going to return to be able to be in the NBA Finals next year. You know, so you can't take that stuff for granted when it happens. So that will remain to be seen of what the moves the Lakers make. And no Bone is a diehard Laker fan, so he's going to win and say yeah. But that's a toss in the air. You know what I'm saying? That remains to be seen. And then also injuries and everything play into it. So who are they able to get there to complement him as a player and to be able to make things better? I mean, he's played with some greats already and still haven't won a championship, but that just shows the talent level that's in the league. You know,
hey,
nobody expected to see a Oklahoma City Indiana Pacers finals.
Luka did play with Jalen Brunson, and he did play with Kyrie Irving. Those are two pretty good, great NBA players, man. So we don't know if Luka will squander talent or not. I mean, now that you think about it, he did play with them and with Porzingis too. That was supposed to be a younger Porzingis and a younger Luka. I mean, that was. But
the thing is it
another good teammate?
So
I
my question to
disagree.
y'all is that I ask: do you take a does it take away from a player greatness if they don't win a championship?
No, I don't believe so.
No, it can, but it doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? It can, but it doesn't have to. Because like you can have a player that was great and was on just a bad team, and there wasn't nothing he could do, but he was still great. But you might have, I don't know, it's being able to like win it when it counts. Does that count towards greatness?
Let me
Does that
take that back.
greater when you win
At first, I said
it?
it doesn't, but in my opinion, it's always going to have a place in an argument when you're trying to compare one versus the other. At the end of the day, just like all the flack that Tracy McGrady got because of the comment he made about him winning if he played with someone like Shaq.
Right.
No one would, a lot of people would never consider Tracy McGrady's skill set to be equivalent to Kobe Bryant's. But when you look at the stats
Some
and what
people
they've
do.
done,
Some people do.
he had a legitimate argument though.
I think he does. Yeah, shit.
But most people, all I'm saying, most people at some point they're going to say Kobe won, and even the two that he won without Shaq, it holds weight above T-Mac when you look at them in a comparison. So I think, I think it does. It ultimately is going to weigh in as to how you're going to evaluate them or rank them one versus the other.
Bro, was T-Mac and
just-
Vince Carter on the same team at the same time in Toronto?
Yeah, in Toronto, yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish they could have kept that together, bro. That would have
So-
been nice. They broke that
So
up too
my thing
soon.
is that I don't really think that you can take away from someone's greatness as an individual player by what happens based off of a team, because this is a team. It's ultimately a team game. So therefore, winning a championship has so much more to do with just this one individual player. So you could go out and score 30 or 40 a game. It's many people that have had 50-point games and lost in those games because the team wasn't able to sustain to win or wasn't good enough to get them over the hump. So that does not take away from the greatness of what this player did or what the player was. It's a team sport. And when you get to counting rings and championships, that get real tricky on there, because like when you say, was T-Mac his skill level of Kobe Bryant's? Yes. Yes. If not more. T-Mac was a monster. He just ended up having some injuries and some stuff like that. But individually, as a player and what he could do on a basketball court, it was nothing he couldn't do on the basketball court.
But I think in argument, like me being totally honest about how I look at players, it doesn't take away from them, but in a way, it's all what Kobe is going to, in that comparison, comparing them to, just using that as an example. You're going to say Kobe had something, and some people may think, or they may have something. He was a winner and he was able to do it. And I know, having had the opportunity to play on a team, whether you played in Little League or whatever, you realize that a team is going to be a lot more that goes into it than just, okay, this one player made all the difference. But the little difference that they made, when you start comparing people, it's okay, he did do this and he was able to bring home a championship. So I think in some way it does matter, but it doesn't minimize greatness of the player who wasn't able to get a championship. So I think that it's just dicey. It's how you look at it, because you can't take nothing away from somebody like T-Mac because he didn't win a championship. He was cold.
But the best of the best players, if you was just grading them, it seems like champions are a byproduct of greatness. But like greatness doesn't like come from championships necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be great without them, but if the great players be producing them too, you know what I'm saying? Like the great players, ball so hard that they win championships. And the players that ain't great, they don't do it. It's like how much of an impact.
Well, I can't.
The championship matter, man.
I can't agree with that. How many? Bo, and I'm gonna use you as since you was a DB. I'm gonna use some receivers here to ask that same question.
Right.
How many NFL championships did Chris Carter have? How many NFL championships did Randy Moss have? How many NFL championships did T.O. have? Right. How many NFL championships did Megatron have? And how many did Jerry Rice have? Even Jerry Rice, you know what I'm saying? You got some other really good receivers in there, this and that. But you telling me them first ones that I named who don't have NFL championships aren't some of the greatest receivers to ever play that game? Yeah. I don't think Megatron ever played in a playoff game.
Yeah.
But does that take away from what he was as a receiver and how he dominated that game?
Not at all. When it's all said and done, I think two of them, Randy Moss and T.O. will go down. You can't separate them from Jerry. But people always say Jerry Rice is the gold standard because of those 4 Super Bowls. And that, I mean, it matters. Because me personally, watching and being a fan of football, you look at what Randy Moss is on the field. I don't personally think no one was more talented than him playing wide receiver. I don't.
He said, is Robert Horry the GOAT if he has 7 rings?
Exactly. That's a great question. And that's the thing that I think sometimes these rings.
No.
Bro, would you rather?
We know he's not, but what I'm saying is that's what makes the ring talk a little bit. I think it's taken over. It's overboard, and it's a little irrelevant when it comes to a team sport. You know what I'm saying? That you keep talking about rings because you have players like Robert Horry, who was a very good player, and he got 7 rings. You know what I'm saying? So would you rather have
Luka or Jokic?
Play just like
I wouldn't want neither.
You lying.
I'm dead serious. I wouldn't want neither one of them.
I don't know.
So
no.
Let's see who are some players that came out with
probably
Luka?
If you had to choose, I think Jokic for me, the Joker. I think in today's game, I think so. Yes,
I think Jokic will last a little longer than Luka. I just think his game will translate.
He's won a championship. He's won a championship.
Yes.
Go with Jokic.
Go.
I don't even.
There you go.
With that question, because when you answer that question, how does that work with saying, do you want either one of them? And I'm gonna say I don't really like to watch neither one of them play. That's why I said I would not take either. Not saying that they're not great players. They just from the standpoint of they're not. I don't like to watch either one of them play. It's not exciting basketball that I like to watch by watching them too. But with that being said, there's 2 different players to
better than Anthony Davis.
They're 2 different players, 2 different positions to even compare. That's what I'm like. If you gonna make comparisons, you compare point guard to point guard, 2 guard to 2 guard, power forward to power forward. Like you can't take a center and then say, is he better than
not
this?
Better, but impact. Who makes the biggest? Who makes the bigger impact? And Luka might do it, but like the way they played the trade was like,
I think the Joker do.
Joker,
Joker bigger impact, yeah.
Because he impacts. You see with his triple doubles and stuff like that. That's why I'd say even when you ask him with the impact of Anthony Davis, what Anthony Davis, the intangibles that he bring on the defensive end don't always show up on the stat line. When he alter shots, change shots, and all that type of stuff. So that's what. So who has the bigger impact? It depends on what you're looking at. If you're only looking at it from the standpoint of who scored the most points, who take the most shots, I think Anthony Davis gets a bad rap a lot of times because people expect more out of him offensively, and he's not that offensive player. I mean, he not even when they won the champion, when he was in Kentucky and won the championship at Kentucky, did he even take a shot in the second half? But he blocked how many shots, got all the rebounds, outlet passes, this and that. Like his game should not be based off of how much he scores because he's not that type. He's not a natural type of player that's a scoring player, but he can dominate. He will dominate a game, and you feel his impact in the game all game long, just off of his presence on the court. So that's why I say when you're making those comparisons, if you're going to compare scores, then compare two people that are big time scorers and take shots and that type of stuff.
Luka versus Ant-Man.
I would take Ant-Man every day.
Like Ant-Man. He's more exciting.
Luka versus Ja Morant.
I'm going to take Ja Morant.
I'd take Luka over Ja. Why are you acting
I got Ja. I got Ja.
I'm definitely taking Ja Morant.
Why would you?
Ja Morant, the best player,
why would you
bro.
take Ja?
I swear, I hope Ja Morant just can be himself and really just play. Because, bro, I'm telling you, he was nice.
No, I'm asking you, why would you take him over Luka?
I personally would take him
other than he's black.
No, I personally would take Ja.
Wemby and Ja Morant are my favorite young players, and Bronny.
Well, Ja Morant is he's more exciting for me to watch athletically, but then speaking as a hooper, we're watching a basketball player.
First team All NBA 5 straight seasons.
Yeah,
you're trying to tell me you would take him over him?
That doesn't matter. That's a political game and popularity on stuff on a lot of things. Ja Morant,
I agree with that.
Ja Morant is a dog, and then Ja Morant also shares the ball with his teammates. Me personally, as a basketball player, I don't like selfish basketball players. So therefore, that might be something that you'd be like, okay, I don't like to watch a cat shoot. Not only if you shooting 100 times a game, but then you just dominate the ball by dribble a shot clock away. That does not, Luka will come down and nobody else touch the ball. All he do is dribble, then shoot a fadeaway. I don't like watching that type of basketball. So the players that play like that, not saying that they can't play, it just don't do it for the player.
That's right.
You're agreeing with that?
That's why we don't like.
You really don't agree with that?
I don't like Jordan.
You don't like Jordan?
No. And if people, especially, and it's not because of LeBron, it's really from Isaiah Thomas.
I was about to say, yeah, you actually didn't like Jordan, so I can take that from you. You were a Detroit Pistons fan, so I get it.
Man.
But Luka, I think that all around, if you put the necessary pieces around him, he is going to be more effective than Ja Morant. I do. I believe that.
Luka?
Do you think he's going to utilize his pieces?
That's what I was about to say.
When he needs to, I do. Yes.
After he's cold, he'll utilize him after he's cold.
And I believe Luka is he's a bigger specimen, and I think that he is equipped to do more. Although he's terrible on the defensive end, if he really tried, he can be serviceable on defense. But offensively, it's just more that he can do just by virtue of his size alone. He's just bigger.
The Spurs, man, it's going to be very difficult for Luka to overcome. I don't know.
Why you say that?
The Spurs?
He plays for the. Oh
yeah, I think the Spurs is going to be the best team. Forever? Huh?
Would you be, if you were in Luka's shoes, would you be pissed with the Dallas Mavericks forever? No, I'm saying,
Yes,
Yeah,
the haircut that he had
yes,
to take on that contract because he couldn't get a super max.
right.
yes, yeah. I would be
I
if I was
couldn't
him. And
stand
then
the Mavericks if I
the
was
way that
Luka.
they did him, and then to start airing out all the issues of how he's always out of shape and all this and that. It to me it got personal. It wasn't business at that time, and they were taking personal shots that was unnecessary. So if I was him, I definitely would be. I would be trying to put 50. That'll be a game that I might be shooting 30 times. I'd be trying to put 50 on their head every time I play them.
That was dirt ball. I mean, you didn't even have to look that hard. You could tell he was out of shape. He was fat. So I
Exactly.
mean,
Jiggling all he
you
looked
didn't have to.
like
You
a
didn't have to look
30-year-old
that
man.
hard.
I mean a 40-year-old man out there playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that
Should
wasn't hard
should the
to figure out.
Mavericks fans feel disrespected because now Luka's working out? Now he's coming back in shape. Like, why couldn't he do that at Dallas? You know, why didn't he?
Because
Why
he
did
was
he
balling out of
shortchange?
control and he was.
Why
fat.
did he shortchange? Why did he shortchange the fans in Dallas and not come prepared like he is now? Now Luka has lost like 20 some pounds or 30, however much. Didn't do it for Dallas.
Now this is the question. We can't say that he shortchanged him because he's done this over the offseason, right? Let's see if he's still the same player. Because maybe sometimes when you do things and you alter your body and things like that, things change. Just because you necessarily lose some weight and this and that don't necessarily mean you're going to be faster, quicker, more athletic, or none of that stuff. That does not mean that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if that
all of
makes a
that for
difference in
nothing.
his play.
You're like, oh my God.
No, it's not saying that it's for nothing, but I'm just saying it's nothing that says that, oh, if you was weighing 220 and then you go down to 200, you lose 20 pounds, that your vertical about to go from 35 to 40. Ain't nothing in no science that says that. So nothing that says that you're going to be this or that. So we have to see, does it make it? And because part of
But
Luka's
still, his
game
effort is more. His effort is more.
No, that don't necessarily mean that either. His lack of playing defense could just be his lack of playing defense, and he don't try on defense because he's never had to try on defense. Nobody's so that doesn't mean that. But part of his body structure is what helped him get his game off. That he was a little bigger, a little heavier, and all that type of stuff because he's not getting no faster. And if he speed up, is he the same player? Because the speed of him being able to
that buff a little bit to do those type of shots he does. He holds people off and gives, man, his shots, he makes them somehow, man. He still he's like he moving in slow motion, but you just can't defend it. He makes the game so easy, bro. Ah.
And listen to how you're talking, and you would take Durant over him.
Durant?
Yeah.
John Morant.
I'll take John Morant over him. Man, John Morant is crazy.
John does not make the game easier.
John Morant is crazy, bro. No, John Morant is crazy. And he makes big shots.
He made the game easier for Bane.
He does everything, bro. John Morant crazy.
Not buying that.
I hate that this stupid
stuff. I think John Morant is cold, but I don't think he is he's not Luka.
Ah, shit.
So
man, give me
this is what I mean by
that's before Luka coached. That's before Luka went to the Lakers too, by the way. That's not Laker body right there.
Damn, let me see, bro.
But this is the point I want to make on the body structure though. So when you're looking at the two differences, so everybody thought Luka stayed hurt off of injury because of being out of shape. Nothing about John Morant is ever out of shape, but he has injury problems also. So that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, you don't know what you're going to get with that. You know what I'm saying? John Morant is slim and in shape, but he has problems with injuries. Then Luka was always out of shape and had problems with injuries. So that's why I said we're going to see what Luka, his body transformation means to his game. He may just look better in the uniform.
But I think he definitely injuries, the likelihood that you're going to get injured definitely decreases the better shape you're in. But I think what they're hoping is he is more fit to play, because a lot of times
tired.
he
Play longer.
yes, and he plays. You watch him play, even in the playoffs, he was dragging, and he plays on the offensive end, 100% effort, but he just chills out on defense. And I think part of that is his desire to play defense, but I also think part of it is his conditioning or lack thereof when it comes to him being overweight and not in shape. And I think
Because he's saving himself for offense.
Exactly.
So is it out of bounds? Is it out of bounds for practice? If the Lakers are in practice and Luka is out of position on defense, for JJ Redick to like really confront him about it, grab his jersey, get here, and like move him to the spot. Could you do something like that to like really get to him about defense?
Everything but touching. I'm with the correction and all that type of stuff, but you ain't got no reason to put your hands on nobody touching them. But yeah, that's what coaching is. Man, you supposed to be in this spot. You supposed to be over here. We need you in rotation.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to be bold enough to grab your superstar by the jersey and say you need to be
right
Jay Redick
here, right here,
dunked in practice,
right here, on it.
It'd be another PJ Carlissima situation.
I just watched the interview about that where Brian Shaw was talking about what happened. Man, these coaches though, man, how far can a coach go to motivate and like press? What's too far?
Whatever that point is where one of your players start choking you or body slamming you, putting you through doors. You have officially gone too far. When you make ESPN and they show you getting wheeled out in a wheelchair.
And it's different with every player. So therefore, you'll know when it's went too far.
Yeah.
It's different with every player, so you just better watch yourself, man. Wow.
Yeah, because
what do you
tolerance
think you can say
level
to a player like Ron Artest and get away with it if you're a coach?
I don't know. I mean, when the players come, they need to interview the players and ask them, can they take hard coaching before they sign the contract? And if they sign it, then
what's hard coaching? What's hard coaching?
Like, what my idea of hard coaching is like berating, talking down, humiliation.
Damn.
Is that so? Tell me that
anything.
So
grab.
Is that coaching though?
Be able to like you.
Is that coaching or is that just humiliating people, downing people, talking bad to people?
I'm saying the coach shouldn't do this, but he is within his rights.
How?
I'm saying that's how the coaching needs to be set up if coaches are going to do that. But I'm asking, like, back in the day, y'all know coaches would say racist stuff to people and all kind of stuff, right? To the players.
Yes, I experienced that. Experienced that as a player.
So that's what I'm saying.
I never had,
but it didn't go well for the coach when it happened. It didn't go well at all. So the thing is about
the line, but there was times that do you think it still happens now in 2025? Because you talking like 20 years ago for you, cuz.
Not as I doubt if it happens as much, especially at the college, and definitely not at the pro level. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not at the pro level. And the thing is that you see a lot of that stuff more so in high school and AAU stuff and all that type of stuff now. And the problem with that is like you said, when you said coaching hard, are you coaching or are you just yelling and acting a damn fool? That's a difference, because no player ever, and Bone, have you ever seen a DB go out on the field and purposely get beat on any route? So why do you need to yell, berate, humiliate this, that? There's no player that ever went out on any field or any court and purposely went out there to just say, I'm about to mess up.
So what about if they continue to mess up? Like, is there a breaking point that you have to be more firm? Like you try to just come to them with some, not just like, professional, like nice, they do it again.
What are we?
Isn't it normal for you to be like, damn, bro, why are you doing this?
College,
come on, you gotta tighten up. This is how it's supposed to be ran. They go out there, do it again. It escalates to the point where
are you talking about college or professional athletes though?
Let's go.
Because I think
college is more likely to happen, right? College,
yeah, but if it's college and you that same scenario where someone has messed up repeatedly, get them out the game.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have somebody, if you have someone better, why are they repeatedly messing up? And if you don't have anyone better, that might be a reflection of your coaching,
and your recruitment.
I mean, at the end of the day,
so y'all can't. So what do you do when you're coaching a player? You mean you have to talk peacefully to coach a player?
No, I think that you can yell. I think all coaches yell because it's, just the nature of what's going on when a game is happening. But
right,
in my experience, you can tell the difference. I've been yelled at before, and a lot of times I understood. I knew it was coming.
Exactly.
But I have not been humiliated. If a coach tried to do that with me in a game or something, I think.
But humiliation is subjective. A humiliation is subjective because if I come out the game and be like, man, what the fuck was you doing? And then just walk away, but you had to check me real quick. That could have been humiliating for me at that moment, but then okay, I can get over it. Well, maybe you don't get over humiliation.
This is what
that's true. Humiliation is.
I don't do too well with you trying to humiliate.
Like,
no, that's not.
So y'all tell me, because this is the complete difference of what you're asking. Because in the thing, so if I'm coaching Bone and he's playing DB and he keep raising his hips up and not rotating his hips to turn and run with the receiver, and it repeatedly keep happening. Now, if I kept showing it, hey, you dropping your hips, you know what I'm saying? You're not you opening up too fast. You ain't opening your hips up. You ain't rotating to. So now I say that to him. Okay, he go out there, he do it again. Hey, you done made the same mistake again. I don't have to. So if he come out and it's a difference, and I'm like, damn, I just told you. Hey, when you get your ass out there, drop. Don't stay low. Don't. That's a total difference. And then if you come over and I say, you stupid MF and that's a whole different thing. So therefore, I could have said with the same tone, keep your ass low and keep and quit raising your hips up, as opposed to then when I get to calling you names and berating you and all this and that. It's totally different. And he's going to accept that different, because when you know a coach care, they are going to correct you. And at sometimes it may be loudly that they correct you. You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to try to embarrass you and humiliate you. Because if as a coach, if I embarrass you and humiliate you, you're not checked out. Now you ain't no good to us, period. And so when it comes to the repeat offender, there's one sound that always corrects all this stuff for somebody being a repeat defender. Soon that sub come for you, you're gonna quit doing that.
That's a great equalizer.
You quit being I don't have to say a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I done told you what it was. You knew what you did, and all I gotta do is send the sub in there. I ain't even gotta say nothing else when you come out. Hey, have a seat.
Yeah,
something.
Shit, at one point in time, the coaches had belts.
Go, man.
What was this?
Yeah, they had belts on the
What was
sideline
this?
of the game when the players came out. What's
Yeah.
what's
Who
wrong
was you playing for?
with you?
You need help, man. You need help.
Was this how you got coached in soccer? I ain't
Need help.
never experienced
Might as
that one.
well, dude. That's what they want to do, bro. If they had it their way, they would do that.
And then
If you are coaching, what do you feel is the most effective means to make in your experiences with kids?
Yes,
What do you
positive,
find when you're yelling?
positive.
Because I know
Never.
you
I
you don't
yell, but it's funny. It's always funny. It's always funny, and
It's funny to you.
No, because man, listen, I was just thinking about this like not the other day, but a game that we were playing. One of my players shot an air ball. It was the first shot of the game. It was a shot of air ball, and the gym was so silent. And I said, "Oh my god!" And everybody started cracking up. You know,
And you thought it was hilarious.
right? Well, everybody did.
The
Even
kid
it was
didn't think that.
Marmar. It
The
was
kid didn't
Marmar.
think
He was
that.
like my favorite player. Like it was so funny. Like
It was
but
funny
he
to
started
you.
laughing. He looked over at me. But when I cut, like not cuss, because I don't cuss at the
On
kids.
purpose.
Right? But it'll be so cool though. You know what I'm saying? Like in a better way. I coach exactly what Reem is talking about. I only normally do positive reinforcement, but I might be like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I might say something like that or something, but for the most part, we get on defense and we just like get ready. I just like keep them alert for defense, man. I just coach defense. That's the main thing I coach. And other than that, I let the kids get out there and play, pass the ball ahead. That's the number one rule. Give it up. That now, if you don't do something like that, because you know that that's what we do. If somebody's ahead of you, we outlet the ball, man. Don't dribble one more time. None of that. We get it out. And then if
But
we
if
don't
I
got
want
nothing,
to
then we
dribble
get
though,
it going.
coach, I just want to get my 1-2 dribble, then push it up.
I'm like, come here.
now, as a coach,
I'm like,
I
that was funny.
I coach with the thing. I never try to embarrass my players. Now, and I crack a lot of jokes. My personality's still the same. I crack jokes. I used to crack jokes while I was playing. So I definitely crack jokes, coaching and everything. But if I was really getting on a player real tough, nobody would know it because I got my arm around them talking to them, and somebody think I'm really spoiling them. And that'll be when they really getting cussed out on something. And that's because of something, their attitude or something like that. Not something off of a mistake in the game or something like that. You know, that more so came when I seen players not out there giving the effort that they supposed to give and that type of stuff, or just not into the game. You know, like then it's like, man, what are you doing? But I never did it in a way to embarrass the players. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, once you start embarrassing your players and stuff like that, they check out on you. And they're gonna hold that, and it's gonna now become personal when it ain't personal. So whenever whatever went on between the lines, once you walk across the lines, it's supposed to be over with anyway. But if when you do things the wrong way, it's hard for them to get over it, you know. So, Bon, did you have any experiences on coaching or anything? Or
I think I was fortunate in that regard because I didn't have no coaches that really pushed it in that way. Not like I said, I got yelled at. I felt like I was coached hard at the high school and at the college level and shit. As far as that, now I don't think no one was worse than my dad, and that was Pee Wee. And he made it fun though, but probably I would be hard pressed to find somebody to yell more than him. But it was in love though. I think I've never had someone. That's why I said, and that's why I feel so strongly about it. I never had nobody like try to humiliate you or just like talk to you like in a condescending way out on the field. And I just think I've heard of it, and it never ended well. And the people that know that have had instances with coaches where they talked to them crazy or did something to them. I can even remember just seeing coaches that grab players by the face mask, like get here and be all in them. I'm like, man,
right.
There's really no place for me. There's no place for that. If somebody did that, I feel like my first instinct would be to, you know what I'm saying, knock your hand away. Like, man, what are we doing? And because you got to think in college, you're talking about young men. We men. You're not going to touch me and talk to me a certain way. We're all young. I'm a man, so you're not going to be disrespectful in that way. Discussion with friends, like, man, I don't find that to be coaching. And if someone approached me in that way,
hey, can a coach grab a player's face mask in a good way? Grab it.
No.
Hey,
no.
man, you gotta do better. And then let it go. Is that?
I think there might
okay?
be, but I've never seen it. Usually when coaches are grabbing the face mask, they
good play.
It seemed like they letting you know that he did something.
What about after a good play? After a good play, can he do that? He can after. If you did good,
like I said, it's possible, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't think that would be your reaction as a coach. You know, so my thing is that what I've seen over the years is a lot of bad coaching take place because coaches don't truly understand the sport that they're coaching and cannot help players actually be better players. And they're more worried about trying to act like they're being a father figure to kids. Everybody don't need a father figure. You know what I'm saying? Like in me and Bone's situation growing up, we had our daddies right there every step of the way. I don't need a coach to be a father figure. How can you help me become a better basketball player? And this is why I had conflict with a lot of coaches coming up, because they were trying to act like, I don't need a father. What can you do to help me be a better basketball coach? And when you couldn't do that, we had major problems. Major problems. Because I'm not here. I'm not in need of a father at all.
You were a hothead.
And that
you can tell. You were
that might be true. I can be a hothead, but when I realize that you don't know nothing about what we're doing here, yeah, that's where we got a problem at. I don't, and that's where I think so many coaches go wrong at. You might be a positive influence as a male role model, but you don't have to be somebody's out here be their father. That's why I think a lot of my players call me Unc. And I think it's because, you know what the uncles always, that's the cool dude that you could talk to about everything, but they also hold you accountable in life, but always right there for you, not with love. That's what Unc is. And so that's how I always approach it. I'm not trying to be their fathers at all. You know what I'm saying? Don't even want that responsibility of trying to be a father figure. That's unnecessary. And like I said, so then what happens, because that's get the stereotyping and generalizing that all these kids coming from single parent homes and they need a father. So then what do you do when you encounter the kids like us who have a father at home every day, who's at every game, who's at doing everything to support you? Now what you got? And when you don't know how to help this kid be better at their sport, now you got a problem. And I've seen too much of that. Too much of that happening, especially here in Dayton with high school sports and stuff. Too much of people trying to overstep and then can't deal with kids who come from situations where they got fathers. And it's a bad thing and need to be corrected. And I've seen it also happen at the college level. But now, to answer your question, do I think what went on when we were in college will happen now? No, it will not. And it's because of one word. Well, two words, transfer portal. The transfer portal holds coaches accountable.
Yep. Yep.
That's true.
Yep. And it makes these kids entitled. And it makes the kids runaways. They run to that when the coach try to tell them something good. Something that's going to actually help them. the kids say, "Oh, it hurt me." Like, bro, he trying to teach you something, but you want the coach to be your yes man. So now you not. Now you say, "Oh, now some coaches probably do need to get kids taken away from them," but some of these kids, they believe in them.
What specifically? What part makes them entitled? Because I disagree with that.
I think that if they say, if you ain't giving me exactly what I'm looking for, like without effort sometimes, because man, I'm telling you, a lot of times people want shit to materialize without putting in that work. Or you might be playing behind somebody that's actually good or better than you, but instead of working to be better than them, you say, I'm just gonna leave here, man. You know, which you got that right. I mean, every case is different, but some of it I think makes kids not stick through adversity a little bit. You know,
I think all of that. I think everything you said potentially is true, but I also think there's a flip side to the coin. And having gone through being recruited by schools, I do believe there are promises made by coaches.
Yeah.
And when those promises aren't met in the past, you were just stuck with the decision of going to the school, and you don't have any recourse or no way to get out of the decision. That now, if promises are made and they don't uphold their promises, like, all right, I'm out. And you could sort of look at it like no harm, but you may end up paying for it because I might be transferring to a school that's in the conference. There was, back in the day, there were some schools, and, you know, they would sign kids not because they wanted them to be a part of their program, but because they didn't want to compete against them. They didn't want to have to play against them. They may, in a sport like basketball, they may have a starting point guard, but they don't want this kid coming up that they know is just as talented. They don't want him to play against a rival university, play at the rival university. So why not we give him a scholarship and just put him on ice for a couple years? Mm-hmm. And that's just, you know, those.
We got a couple of comments. It said, what makes kids entitled are the parents and new societal norms. And they said that's their opinion. That's Feats Elite. And Will Blackburn said an open transfer portal with no sit out breeds advantage player, which births entitlement.
I think it's entitled.
The comments is saying that
I think it breeds. What I think it breeds is accountability by all parties involved, because coaches cannot go in and say you're going to start here. You're not going to go in and tell a kid or make false promises to a kid, because you know at the end of the year you're going to have to re-recruit them, and they very well may leave your university because of what you told them when they were seniors in high school.
Yeah, the coaches shouldn't do that, man. Coaches should not do that.
But they do it every day.
Why do they do it? They should be, and the kids should leave. Exactly. Now I'm in favor of the transfer portal. Now I was just against it. Now I'm for it.
Now Will Blackburn that just commented. That's my big brother, and he's been a coach down in Charlotte area for many years as a high school coach in Charlotte, and put a lot of players in college and stuff like that. And so I see it all is true. So like Bone is saying, all of that comes into the pot. So that there are some entitled kids who feel like they don't have to work for nothing and they should just show up and everything is given to them. That is true. And then you got the coaches who have not been upfront and not been truthful, and that it went on for years. So now the portal is just out of control because you got the whole mix of everything going on. So now you got the coaches complaining about this and that, you know. So, and then when you throw this NIL and collective money in there too, so now you got players who are like, hey, I need X amount of dollars. If not, I ain't coming. And then they may not perform. Then you got coaches. It's a big mess, and I don't know how you really get it under control, because like Bone said,
probably start paying the players. They'll probably start paying the players because
they
the
already doing that
as endowment, right? But maybe they'll contract it to guarantee that the player will be there for a couple of years. So say, come here, we'll give you $1 million a year for 2 years. And then
They're
that
doing
way
that.
the player is getting
They're
paid.
already doing that.
Oh,
That's
so
what
there it
that's
is
what the
then. That'll
collective
keep the
is.
transfer portal from happening so
No,
frequently if they're getting to play. They can't get
no.
out of the
So,
contract. You got to stay at the
so,
university
so
no matter what.
this is why they don't want to contract them, because if you contract them, then they would be an employee of the university, which now put a different tax bracket and tax thing onto the university. They don't want that. So now you're basically
They
a
tell the
1099.
universities are trying to finesse taxes. That's why the players can't get put on contract. That's the hold up.
Man, when it all come down to it, it's all about money. You know what I'm saying? So of course, so yeah. Now they would have to be deemed as an employee of the university now. So now all your budget and all that stuff that you got to do and everything in, your athletes will have to be on there if you got them under contract as an employee. And that's not so now I like the I like the transfer portal, and I think it makes everybody have to be accountable. But just because it's open does not mean it always work out for players too. You have players that has ran off and didn't like something, and ran and jumped in the portal and ain't came out the portal. Period.
Yeah, it ain't no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. No, so it's really it's really, like they say, the wild west, because you don't know what may happen with it. You know what I'm saying? And so now what happens is it trickles down and it hurts the probably the lower level schools more, because when you got those players,
and the high school too, right? Like, well, what about the kids that are graduating from high school now? They can't even get to the universities because of the transfer portal.
They're not getting recruited. If they're not the top and real top notch players, they're not being recruited because they rather college coaches rather recruit out of the portal, which is understandable, because now I don't have to teach a kid how to be responsible to go to class. You already understand what the college aspect of it is. But this is why the new rule is set up to where now you can go to JUCO for 2 years and it does not affect your eligibility at all. So now if you leave high school and go to JUCO, you could be in JUCO for 2 years, and after you finish junior college, you still have 4 years of eligibility to play at the NCAA level.
And then that'll help you. Yeah, that'll help you.
Yeah, because you're mature now. You more of a, because that makes a difference. You got a lot of kids that may be 18, 17, 18 coming out of high school, and you go to JUCO for 2 years. Now you're 20 years old. That's a complete different. You're a complete different person, a complete different player at that time period. So it's just going to leave kids in college longer.
And if they're good enough, even going out of JUCO, if they're good enough, they could go straight to the NBA.
Which you always could do that. But also what I think it allows too, and I think for us as a society with black young men and women, these rules should be more, if people look at it the right way, be more beneficial to us. So if you go leave high school, go to junior college for 2 years, get your associate's degree, you go now, you still got 4 years of eligibility, which could be 5 if you get red shirted and all that type of stuff. There's no way our young black youngsters should not be graduating with master's degrees. Bottom line. So if this is done and promoted the right way, it should definitely be, we should be an elevation to our kids. And then not only, some of these high schools got programs that kids can go to get an associate's degree while they're going through high school and graduate with an associate's degree. So, and that's the case, if you're an athlete and you're in that situation, you should probably come out with almost a doctorate degree. Utilize the system for what it's worth and benefit from it.
That schedule is crazy. I'm not saying it. I said that schedule is crazy, though. I'm not saying it's impossible, but for a kid to be on that track in high school and be an athlete, or a Division I athlete and a top notch one at that, they have got to be extremely committed to both their education and their athletic pursuits. It's like that; those will be special kids. I'll put it like that. To
And I'm
achieve
not
both
saying
of those.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be all, but it's out there that some can benefit from it. But definitely, everyone should be coming there. There's no way you should be going to school now playing ball for 4 to 6 years and you walking out without degrees. Because we had many of people in our day, Bone, and you know that we played with and everything on teams that end up was in college for 4 or 5 years and walked out and never graduated. You know, this should be a benefit
Majority
that
of my college teammates did not graduate, and that's just
Damn.
the real. Yeah, the majority of my college teammates did not graduate. Looking back at it, but that's just sort of the reality. And you think of it's just my class that came in as freshmen in '93, but it was the same way for '94. It was the same way for '95, and it. Like before that, and even up till now, you don't have a lot. It's just something that goes with the territory. I consider myself extremely fortunate and blessed because I didn't view myself as someone that was extremely different from a lot of my teammates that didn't graduate, and I made it.
Ain't that the coach's fault? Ain't that the coach's fault though?
No,
that they didn't graduate.
If I
had they had a coach,
nope.
had they had a coach that would have said, come here. This is a classroom. Then they would have
not at all. Because there was, you know what was funny? There was cats that wasn't even playing like that, but they graduated.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think
don't you hear this?
Put it on the coach.
Do you hear what you're saying? The football was the reason why they did not graduate. The more they played, the less they cared about class. Except for you was smarter than them.
That's not at all. Nope.
That comes on an individual of realizing that I'm not going to be pimped in the system. And that's also what the portal and the NIL has done, where kids are not being pimped like it was back when we were in school. They've been able to benefit.
The kids get to class and
nah, that ain't really. They have certain things where they would try to tell you to go to class, but man, that falls on the individual, and you have to want to be able to succeed in the classroom and graduate. You know what I'm saying? There's no coach. I mean, how many? So a football team got 100 players, and you got 10 coaches. How they gonna take everybody to class?
That's not a player that's been on your team for 4 years, and he's not close to a degree, and you don't know him that good. Then now we got a problem with you being a coach because you're not even connecting with your 4-year seniors.
See, you're taking that wrong because
5-year seniors.
You can't be eligible if you're not close to the degree. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a percentage of your degree completed every year in order to be eligible. So what happens is cats get to and just don't finish the stuff that's necessary to graduate. So you get time and you done played your 4 years. and you
got a personal vendetta against coaches, bro.
Shit.
But hey, I think that's a topic we probably should bring up on another episode. You know, so let's wrap this one up, and you know, thank everybody that joined in and watched us today on the For Shits and Giggles podcast, and let's go out. Who got a For Shits and Giggles tale they want to tell for today?
Well, I kept losing the remote. And when you lose the remote, bro, first of all, do y'all lose y'all's remote? Does your remote
never?
You never lose a remote, Remy G?
No, I haven't.
No, I got a thing that I put the remote in every day that it just is sitting.
I'm talking about while I'm watching TV, I put the remote down, like on the bed, and then goes under the cover somehow or something, and I just lose it. I'm thinking like, oh God, I'll never find it. So, but I always find it. But in the moment, okay, when I'm losing I can't believe y'all never lose your remote. Y'all are too good. Y'all are
No, I have
AI,
been I
fucking
have been
AI
told by my
agents.
family in the house with me that I like OCD. I am
Yeah.
very much a person that puts stuff back at the same place every time I use it. So
In
they,
your
I
bed,
can tell
your remote don't get lost.
it's at the same place every day. I never move it.
So
Yeah,
my for shits and giggles, I'm gonna go ahead and say it that I'm looking at now is just going through college athletics. You know what I'm saying? There were so many negative things that happened with it, with injuries and stuff like that, and the lessons that was learned transferring, being a 4.24 transfer, leaving Western Illinois, going to Kankakee, then transferring to Tennessee State, and all the things that happened that used to I was upset about of how things were down. But as I look back on it now, and I'm able to giggle at the experiences of and look at the bad times and think of how they shaped me to become the man that I am. So I thank college athletics for helping me become the man and the person that I am, even though it took me a long time and I was bitter with a lot of things that transpired and took place with. But for now, I can now look back at it and laugh and appreciate some of the relationships and things that I was able to develop in friendships. So that's
That's
my for
what I'm
shits and
saying.
giggles was just that experience from 1993 to 1998 through the three different colleges. So
And all that hard coaching, that disrespect now has made you the man you are.
no, that didn't that didn't do it at all.
Did it? Man, the coaches
I
used to
like
make
hearing
me
that,
run.
Ray.
Bro, the coach made me run something called a suicide before, bro. A suicide. Why?
So you about to be silly. You about to be silly. We ain't gonna lie. We're not gonna allow you to do that.
That was the worst
To
exercise
derail
of all.
story to that. We're not doing it today, bro. I like Reem's
Yeah.
story, and
Come
I'm
on, bro.
gonna
Hold on, bro.
piggyback on that.
You
No,
always don't do the for shits and giggles. So what's going
that's what
on,
I'm
man?
saying, and that's what I'm saying. I really respected Reem's, and I want to piggyback off of his for mine because mine
Oh
was
my god.
like his. No, because I'm telling you
Please don't
why.
do that.
Hearing Reams for shits and giggles, it inspired me because mine's similar, but mine's was different because I went to a school, and like I said, I went to a Division II school, and at first I was extremely as the whole deal going in to school was going D1, and looking
Yeah.
back, it was all part of the plan. For me, I always look at it in retrospect now, just looking back and reflecting on how it all happened, it was all part of the plan. It was all part of God's plan, and I am extremely appreciative of my college experience because I went to school, I was able to graduate, and it sort of sent me on a trajectory that I couldn't have imagined previously when I first stepped foot on Finley's campus. And went and I won the national championship, was a part of two national championship teams. And it was, I was nice. You
That's
dig?
my dog.
But
That's
it was
my
really
dog.
it was what
Yeah.
it turned out way better than what I could have imagined when I first got on campus. And I had a great coach, great teammates, and it was truly transformational as far as who I became as a man. And it was a huge one of the best decisions I made, and I totally questioned it when I first made it. So yeah, boom.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's for
Shout
shits
out
and
to
giggles.
Tennessee State University, the greatest HBCU in the land.
Yeah.
Hey, I married a girl that went to Howard that would beg to differ with that all day every day.
Hey,
And I've been to
All I'm
both.
gonna say,
I've been to both homecomings, and I'd go ahead and put it out there. Howard is, you know what I'm saying? They got to step up. You know what I mean? Tennessee State was live, but it wasn't like Howard's. I'm gonna just say.
well, all I'm gonna say is I know you a guy that like baby oil.
See, I try to stand up for this guy. He goes some nonsense. You know what I mean? You only can deal with certain people for so long.
Everybody like, subscribe, and make sure you guys ring the bell so y'all can get alerted when we drop new content. All right, y'all. For shits and giggles, Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. What's up? This t-shirtkings247.com. I recently researched all the other internet sites that sell shirts like we do. And by far, we are the cheapest. With us, you order 20 shirts, you get 60% off. You order 50 shirts, you get 65% off. It's hard for me to properly articulate the deal you're getting because it's so damn good. t-shirtkings247.com, 937-603-4494. Whatever you need, we bring it right to you.